Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, you can see dawn is broken. Daylight is here. So I have to go walk half a mile, cut the grass today. I know this is not a vlog. I don't watch vlogs. All right. We have from, oh, my nose, about perhaps and maybe 1972. Gibson's Finest. I read somewhere, not officially, that it was put out that year. I did find out that sorry about my voice, the trademark for Gibson's Finest Rare was only 2015, so I don't know the story. I know Gibson's was an old company established in 1837. I did find that trademark back to 1837. American company that fled to Canada. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. I'm not sick, like I don't feel ill or anything like that. My nose is a little stuffy, but that's nothing unusual with this humidity we have here. That'll clear up. Yeah, it could be some kind of pollen in the air. They have a lot of ligustrums across the street, and they're like really full of a pungent smells. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling it won't last. So Gibson's Finest. Well, I haven't been. Ronnie S says, cheers, Big Ron. Cheers back to you, Big Ronnie. Over there in Long Island. That's 7:15 over there. I haven't been too impressed with Gibson's. It's been kind of not so great. When I first tried it, I gave it a B+. Some people were put off by that because they say it's way better than a B+. I said, look, I got to call these as I see them. I tell people that in comments. They'll say, well, I'm sorry, you said it was an A, but might be a beer. But to me, it's a C+, and they'll tell me why, whatever. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. You got to call it like you see it. Don't say, well, I'm going to say it's better than it is just because I don't want somebody to be angry. No. I'm telling you, it seemed like it's gotten less enjoyable the more I've drunk of it. And I have a lot left, 80% of the bottle, 75%. Okay. Gibson's. Now we have the 12-year Canadian Club. I got about 65%, 70% of this bottle left. Thank you, John Anile. 12-year, small batch. Introduced in 1984. Now that I know, that is a fact. Now, when I was at Barton 1792 Distillery, the girl said, the tour guide, she was very good. She said, do you know what makes it a small batch as opposed to a large batch? Like, what's the determination? We didn't really know. She said, well, the only guideline is that it has to be a smaller batch. You know what I mean? Like, you could make 3,000 barrels of this whiskey, and then if you made 1,500 of the other, then that's a small batch because it's smaller. But she says it's not really too strict. So maybe Jack Daniel's small batch might be bigger than the whole output of another company. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because their entire batch number might be tiny. All right. Still waiting to find that Budweiser Discovery. It's not shown up here. Usually we get stuff first, so I don't know what is the story behind that. Got a nice real cork. I mean, everything about the Gibsons is nice as far as the price. $9.99 for this huge glass bottle. That was nice. The bottle design is pretty. The label's nice. The embossed bottle, all the stuff on it. The wooden cap, the real cork, everything. It's all fantastic looking. One of the best looking whiskey bottles I've seen. But then things break down when you start tasting it. Now, the Canadian Club, I kind of like this squared off bottle. got the rubber cork, which doesn't look that nice, but somebody told me that it's better because it doesn't break up and fall into the dry rot. But I don't know, rubber can dry rot, Then it might be some kind of chemicals in your whiskey, but I don't know the science. I don't claim to know it. Have I ever had a rubber stopper cork breakdown? No. Have I had real cork breakdown and infest the whiskey, so to speak? Yes, with the Wild Turkey 101, the 1983 bottle. Man, I didn't know the cork was dry rotted. And when I went to pull it out like this, the cap came out, but there was no cork, and the cork was stuck in the bottle. Well, that was it. I was in bad shape then. And then it fell down in there and it was cork all in. So I had to put it through a strainer to get the cork out. But guess you wouldn't have to worry about that with a twist cap. There's the Kansas City Southern eastbound. Listen how fast they go. They're not supposed to go that fast through town, but they've been flying lately. The word must be out. They don't really enforce it. How good is the Canadian Club 12 years? Is it worth the price? $22 to $24? Yes. Oh, yes, definitely worth the price. Gibson's, if you bought a 750 of Gibson's, it'd probably be about the same price, $22, $24. No, I don't think it's worth the price. I wasn't enjoying it. Don't even try to think you're going to get it for $9.99 for that huge bottle. That was a crazy price, and why it was that low, I couldn't tell you. And I didn't even care. I just bought it. You know what I mean? I didn't start saying, hey, why is this stuff so cheap? I just bought it and left, and bought some other stuff too. Look at the appearance. Definitely different. The Canadian Club is much darker. This is just gold, right? Gold. And this is deep amber, almost a wood, a mahogany, or yeah, a brown, tan, whatever color. Could it get that dark in 12 years? I suppose if the barrel was heavily, heavily charred, it would. The Gibson's is light, and they probably had a used barrel that wasn't heavily charred, so you didn't get a lot of color filtering into the beer. Are Canadian whiskeys allowed to have coloring added? Yes, they are, according to the law of Canada. Now, according to the law of the United States, they're not. If you read the regulations, Scotch whiskey, Irish whiskey, Canadian, it's not allowed to have coloring added. But there's one caveat. There's one exception to that whole scenario. Scotch, Irish whiskey, and Canadian whiskey is imported under the laws of the countries they're coming from. See? So therefore, since Canada allows the coloring to be added, and the U.S. allows it to be imported under its guidelines, then it's allowed. See what I mean? See how those laws work? That's strange, huh? If you read the Tax and Trade Bureau regulations, you'll see that is in fact the case. I gotta mix these up real well. It's kind of cold this morning. I mean, cold for us. Usually April 20th, it won't be 49 degrees, you see. It might be 59 at this time of day, but not 49. So it's kind of unusually cold. And somebody at the baseball game last night was saying, isn't it strange how in February we were wearing short sleeves at the game and it was getting warm, and now we're wearing jackets and it's windy and cold, cutting through you like a knife? I said, yeah, huh? I left the game early because that rain was blowing sideways. It started raining. They ended up playing because it passed through, but I was like, I'm not getting wet out here, man. No way. Plus, it was a bummer. My team got beat 4-1, so they won the first game. I got to the first game late because I had to work. They had a doubleheader. Oh, yeah, I know it's not a vlog because we had some rain yesterday, Thursday. They could have played Thursday, as it turns out. But whatever, you know, dims the brakes. Louisiana State, LSU Tigers, they won yesterday. Won big, too. They whipped Florida. Florida beat them so badly Thursday night. They come back last night and just demolished Florida. What did they say on the Florida Gators website? we had a rough, Gators have a rough time, something like that. I was like, yeah, you had a rough time, all right. And it's worse because you got beat by a team who has almost their whole first string injured on injured list. And so that doesn't argue too well for your team if their backups are whipping you bad. We'll see what happens today on ESPN2 at 2 o'clock. The rubber match. And the rubber match for Southeastern Louisiana University. Ronnie says about 59 degrees here, but rainy. Oh, so y'all on the warm side of the front right now. It'll cool off considerably once that front passes through. But this time of the year, these cold fronts come through, but then they kind of break up. Like it doesn't stay cool long because then the Gulf air starts filtering back. It goes backwards. Then it gets humid again very quickly and cloudy, although it's clear as a bell right now. And then you see, then it'll warm up so fast. All right. Can't look. I'm going to know which is which, though. I'm telling you, Gibson's is not that good. Canadian Club's going to whip it. I think I know already. I gotta close my eyes, though. The color is too different. Oh, well, maybe I don't know. It's weird because both of these I was picking up a little vegetable note. Strange. You say you mean olive oil or something? I don't know. I have detected that with these Canadian whiskeys before, like a strange olive oil aroma. Totally inappropriate, but okay. I got it now. They breathed enough. Yeah. Okay, this is the Gibsons. This is the Canadian Club, and let me tell you why. When you take a deep inhalation over here, you pick up a lot more charred oak wood. Yeah. But before I officially call it, I'll go ahead and take a taste just for the heck of it. And by the way, Canadian Club small batch classic 12. It doesn't taste anything like Canadian Club. It's like a whole different product. It's just different, very different. Yeah, you could taste that deep charred oak. Now over here, I know what I'm going to taste. It's going to be a harsh rye and an even harsher toothpick type wood thing. It's going to put me off. And heck, we're examining Gibson's Monday night. Oh man. Well, we're doing it. So if I say bad things about it, it's nothing personal. It's just the way it's coming across. Oh, this is too distinct. No way you could confuse these two. Oh, no. No need to close my eyes now. This is Canadian Club in my left hand. Clearly Canadian Club. I don't even know why I put stickers on the bottom of the glasses. Got a little CC there and a G over here. Because the color was, I should have remembered, the color is so different. No need to tag. All I do is look and then I know by virtue of the shade. Well, they might be the same price, but Canadian Club is way more nice. You know what I mean? Like much richer flavor, smoother, enjoyable, all the way good. Like, what's wrong with it? What is the fault with Canadian Club Classic 12 small batch special edition? It's got about 4 different names. The downside. There's no downside. It has a little rye, it has a little wood, a lot of wood, charred oak, but it's nice, like all of it. And there's a lot of candy, sugar candy, dark sugar. Nice. Everything's nice, you know. But everything this one isn't. It's got all these like negative connotations. Yeah. Attributes. Oh man. That follow-up is just pepper, harsh rye, and that toothpick wood. No char. I'm not gonna say it's the worst Canadian whiskey I ever had, but I'm sure it's far from the best. Well, you can see clearly the winner. It's so obvious. It's laughable. But then I don't feel too bad about this taste challenge because I predicted 4 days ago it was. Oh no. 2 days ago I said this was going to be a farce. It was going to be no kind of challenge, although on aroma it was at first, initially. And I said Canadian Club will destroy it, and it did. It really did. A terrible beating, one of the worst defeats ever in the history of Dawnbusters. Yikes. Luckily, I only have 70% of this huge bottle left to drink. Canadian Club, unfortunately, I only have 70% of the bottle left. See what I mean? The last one with Gibson's in the Gibson's tournament is going to be Heir to the Throne, which you almost wonder, why would I even make a video since nobody, and I mean nobody can get it. I guess I could say I'm doing the video just because it exists. You know what I mean? Like somebody one day, some viewer might say, oh, look, I found a bottle, you know, like I don't expect it, but that might happen later today. That actually might happen later today, that taste challenge. I might move it up. Heir to the Throne, one of the most oddball things I've ever run across, cost me $15.50, something like that. It was initially like 30 bucks a bottle, which was way overpriced, which is probably why Walmart never could sell it. Then kept dropping, and they closed it out at $15.50, and then the bottles did disappear. The company that made it is no longer in business, or the company, let's say, that procured it. So that is the strange one. That's the weirdo bottle. But it's still going to beat Gibson's. I thought it was a delightful product. Well, maybe I should say it like I think it's going to beat Gibson's because I only did the Heir to the Throne in isolation. And what have I said? When you put these things in competition, lots of things can change. So maybe things will change, but I don't think they'll change. All right, so sorry, Gibson's, but your track record in taste challenges has been abysmal, terrible, just awful. But if you have a league, a team's got to finish in last place, right? So Gibson's finishes last. 0 wins, 11 losses, and 1 tie. I think that's how it worked out. 11-1. Coach is getting fired. The general manager job is on the line. They're about to reevaluate the program. So sorry, Gibson's. And then where we have the champ here, Canadian Club, undefeated. Canadian Club small batch, undefeated. But the only thing this whiskey does is win every challenge. You know what I'm saying? Win every challenge. It's first place in the standings. Does price matter? Yeah, but it didn't matter in this case. All right, so got some things to do, and then we'll do a beer. Maybe in about 2.5 hours, there'll be a beer review posted. I think about 2.5 hours. Thanks for watching this video production.